Sure. So initially, I didn't even plan to apply to the US, and I was like gonna apply to only UK colleges. So I think I had a list of 5 colleges in the UK, as everyone does through UCAS. I had Cambridge Imperial and a few others, and I was going to apply for electrical and electronics engineering because I wanted the intersection of physics and computer science in my subject. And so I didn't do anything specifically to get into college, of course. So a lot of my things were just purely off of interest because I like computer science. So my subjects, my A level subjects reflected that because in the UK in A levels you can only do 3 subjects. So I did maths, physics, and computer science. So I wanted an intersection of those subjects. So I applied for electrical and electronics engineering, and slowly and steadily my dad had a job offer in the US and he told me to apply to the US. So it was a very sudden change into writing essays and figuring out any extracurriculars that I had done over the years rather than doing them because I didn't have any time to do any sort of long-winded extracurricular activity. So I think my application was extremely tech heavy, extremely STEM heavy because of me trying to get into a good UK college, and those were the things which I sent here to Georgia Tech. So I had a few work experiences under me, which I just got simply by cold emailing people, and I had a few uh, my self-done research projects over the lockdown period. So I had read a few books and just decided to write some articles relating to those topics. So it was literally just my interest in science, tech, engineering, maths, but obviously you have to manifest it in a way such that a college looks at you favorably. You can't just read books and expect a college to like you. You have to do something out of what you learn. So yeah.
One of the highlights, despite your short span of time to build your profile specifically for the US, one of the highlights of your application was the writing, and I felt that it tied in really well, especially your Common App essay and also your Why Georgia Tech essays. It was very well researched and very pointed. Tell us something about the Common App essay that you wrote, and what do you think worked?
Yes, sure. So my Common App essay was essentially it was related to my interest in physics. So I I chose a topic in physics which I had researched under, and it was quantum mechanics in my case. So I had done some research into that, had read a few books, and because of my interest in computing, I'd naturally looked into quantum computing at that time. It is a buzz, it's still a buzz. So I had looked into how a computer works and just done some reading. I was in contact with my teacher over lockdown and just sending him things that I had read, any article I might have written. I ended up writing, I think, 2 articles related to quantum physics, and those formed the core structure of my Common App essay. But obviously, the Common App essay was supposed to be personal, so I tried and intertwine quantum physics into my life. So it's essentially I tried and explain the multifaceted nature of a quantum particle, which is supposed to be ever changing, to my life. So I connected how I was born in India, but then I moved to the UK, and how that gave me a different sort of perspective of looking at things, and how helped me develop sort of multiple personalities and sort of behave differently with different kinds of people. So it was just about talking about that experience and how that was related to my interest in physics. Yeah.
Amazing. So you found your meta state in understanding different levels of relationships around
Yeah.
you. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
so insightful way to sort of express yourself. So I think just working on that essay with you was really fun because sometimes we recommend students not to go so heavy on a academic subject, but quantum physics from the get-go really excited me as well, and I said, okay, yeah, this seems like a good connection to have in your personal life. So I'm glad that worked. The other parts, like you mentioned, the extracurriculars were all there from school in India and your rushed sort of school preparation in the UK. Uh, but you did sort of have, when I look back, there was a trend. There was something that tied your interest in tech, even in your community service. And even if you wrote Medium, .com articles
Right.
that self-published, they were pretty good quality. I mean, if you had more time, you could have even perhaps thought of writing to researchers and collaborating with them or assisting them. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
so good, well done. So let's move to the second part of the podcast, which is essentially, what happened when you got to Georgia Tech. Of course, you wrote that fanciful essay and love and wooing Georgia Tech and why Georgia Tech, the prompt. But
Right.
what exactly happened when you got there? How was it like settling in? How was it like in terms of the academic choices you made thus far in your first semester and now starting second semester?
Right, true. So I think towards the start of it, one of the major contributories to me choosing my classes as I chose them was my visa type. So because I came to the US as a dependent of my dad, my visa type had a lot of restrictions on there. So I couldn't do any paid opportunities. That restricted me from applying for any research positions or any summer internships. So I decided that I'd like concentrate my energy towards doing some classes. So I did a few extra classes for that semester. So I know like people on average did 13, 14, 15 credits, and I ended up doing around 17 to 18 credits for that semester. So took some hard classes. It was a lot of work, but yeah, it was worth it. And then I joined a few clubs and committees in Georgia Tech to start off with. So I had this newly found interest of finance now. So the Banya genes kicking in a bit late, but yes. So I joined the Georgia Tech Investments Committee, where we're managing Georgia Tech Student Endowment. And so that was a process. It was like another class. I went through a mentorship process for that for the entire semester. And now this semester, I'm joining the committee as an analyst. Now I'll be giving stock pitches and recommendations and things like that. And the other big committee I joined was the Data Science Club at Georgia Tech. And initially, I was just a participant and a member, and we'd just go to meetings and talk about things. But this semester, I'm the logistics co-lead for organizing a hackathon over here. So we're organizing a 600 to 700 student hybrid hackathon, and I'm leading the logistics for the same. So that was pretty. It was a pretty quick transition, but you have to take conscious efforts to things. And as for the social life, it's more. There are a lot of Indians in Georgia Tech, so it's a tech school, and we only have like 30 majors or so, all of them towards technology. So there's a lot of Indians naturally, and most of them are CS majors, and so yeah, there's a lot of CS majors. So I mean, forming that group of Indians, that community, the back net to fall onto, it's a strong set of people you meet, and it's a very good community to have. And in terms of socializing with other people, it's very difficult because it's a state school. So a lot of the students here, they come in with their own high school formed groups. They know each other already because of in-state nature and the things of how sports and everything works in the US. They know each other beforehand. So for them, it happens to be pretty easy to form groups. But for us as Indians, as international students in general, you have to take a conscious effort to just approach people, and that's the best way to make friends. I'm still struggling with that, but yeah, it's a slow process. It has to be done over time.